tonight, this shutdown is wreaking havoc on air travel. Air traffic control in Philadelphia, Vegas, Nashville, Chicago.
Jimmy Kimmel, a voice that has illuminated America's late-night landscape for over 2 decades, transforming Jimmy Kimmel Live into a cultural cornerstone. From commanding the Oscars stage to hosting the American Music Awards, he rose from the static of small-town radio to stand among legends like Johnny Carson and David Letterman. His razor-sharp wit, forged in adversity, has sparked laughter in millions. But behind the spotlight lie profound scars. A son's fragile heartbeat, love's lost to time, the relentless grip of narcolepsy, the abrupt silencing of his show in 2025 after 22 years, and the quiet battles of a boy who learned to smile through pain. James Christian Kimmel was born on November 13, 1967, at 2:17 a.m. in Brooklyn's Coney Island Hospital, in the vibrant, working-class enclave of Mill Basin. The neighborhood pulsed with life. The aroma of fresh cannoli from Spumoni Gardens, the rhythmic clatter of the B train along Flatbush Avenue, and the chatter of neighbors on brownstone stoops. The eldest of 3 in a Catholic family of Italian and German descent, Jimmy grew up in a modest brownstone at 2250 East 70th Street, where love was plentiful, but luxury was a stranger. His mother, Joan Iacono Kimmel, carried the legacy of Neapolitan immigrants who fled the 1883 Ischia earthquake, a disaster that claimed 2,300 lives and reduced their village to rubble. Her great-grandfather, Ciro Iacono, arrived in New York in 1904, a tailor with calloused hands and a heart brimming with hope, weaving a thread of resilience that would echo in Jimmy's journey. His father, James John Kimmel, an IBM executive, toiled over punch card machines and early mainframes in a windowless Manhattan office, his 12-hour shifts securing a $32,000 a year salary that paid the mortgage but left little for extravagance. Joan, a homemaker with faith as steady as her rosary beads, nurtured Jimmy, Gina, and Jonathan, her hands kneading dough for Friday night pizzas, a ritual that stitched the family through lean years. As the firstborn, Jimmy bore an unspoken mantle. At 5, he was the protector, guiding Gina and Jonathan across Brooklyn's cracked sidewalks, his small hands steadying them through stickball games and stray dogs. "I felt I had to shield everyone," he confessed in a 2018 Rolling Stone interview, "even when I couldn't shield myself. This burden, heavy as the snow that blanketed Mill Basin, carved his first scar, teaching him to mask uncertainty with a smile." Sundays were sacred at St. Bernard's Church on East 69th Street, where Jimmy served as an altar boy from age 7 to 12. The scent of frankincense, the cadence of Latin, et cum spiritu tuo, and the weight of the brass censer imprinted a reverence that later infused his humor with unexpected depth. At 10, he tripped on his robe, spilling ash across the altar, a moment he'd later recount on air with self-deprecating charm. The congregation's stifled laughter, his first audience. Summer evenings came alive at his grandmother, Maria Iacono's home on Avenue U, where cousins chased fireflies, and the sizzle of Zeppel frying in olive oil mingled with laughter. Maria, a seamstress with broken English, shared tales of Ischia's cliffs and her father's fishing boat, stories that planted seeds of resilience in Jimmy's heart. Her weathered hands, stitching dresses late into the night, taught him the value of quiet perseverance. Comics like Spider-Man, issue number 121, where Gwen Stacy's death left him sobbing at 11, and Mad Magazine, traded with neighbor Tommy Russo behind the corner deli, fueled his imagination, their irreverence shaping his wit. He idolized Don Rickles, mimicking his biting humor at family dinners, once roasting his uncle for a burnt meatball to peals of laughter. David Letterman's Late Night, watched on a 13-inch Zenith TV in his bedroom, became his North Star, its quirky humor sparking dreams of a stage. At 12, he built a makeshift radio booth in his basement, recording shows on a cassette player, narrating imaginary Knicks games or impersonating Howard Cosell, his voice a fledgling rebellion against the ordinary. This world, Brooklyn's rhythm, family warmth, and comic book dreams, was a cocoon he believed would endure forever. At 9, that cocoon shattered. In July 1976, IBM transferred James Sr. to Las Vegas to oversee a new data center, uprooting the family to a $90,000 ranch-style home at 4321 Flamingo Road. For Jimmy, it was exile. The laughter of Brooklyn friends, the pulse of city streets, the comfort of belonging, all vanished, replaced by the alien hum of slot machines and the desert's arid silence. At Doral Academy, his Brooklyn accent drew mockery. New York, classmates sneered, leaving him a ghost in his own story. "I never fit in," he admitted in a 2020 Esquire interview, his voice thick with the ache of displacement. Teachers saw a restless boy, distracted by loss. Peers ignored him. To escape, he biked to the Boulevard Mall's arcade, pouring quarters into Pac-Man, its chirps drowning out loneliness. At night, he'd lie awake, staring at the ceiling, the desert dust in his lungs, a quiet wound whispering of home. He joined the school's drama club at 14, landing a small role as a newsboy in Bye Bye Birdie, his first taste of applause, a fleeting salve for an uprooted heart. At 16, a spark flickered. In 1983, KCLK 89.1 FM, a student radio station at Ed W. Clark High School, handed Jimmy a microphone, a clumsy lifeline to a voice he hadn't yet claimed. Hosting Clark's Comedy Corner, a 30-minute Saturday show, he spun Weird Al Yankovic records and cracked jokes about cafeteria meatloaf, earning chuckles from 50 listeners. His first broadcast cut off mid-sentence due to a faulty mixer, but it was alive. "It was the first time I felt heard," he recalled in a 2015 Sirius XM interview. He spent hours in the station's cramped booth, taping promos on a thrift store cassette deck, his humor raw but earnest, yet doubt clung like static. Would anyone care to listen? He wondered, the fear of fading a constant shadow. A teacher, Mrs. Callahan, noticed his knack, slipping him a worn copy of The Catcher in the Rye with a note. "Your voice matters. Keep talking." It was a quiet push that lingered. Graduating in June 1985, Jimmy faced a future cloaked in uncertainty. He enrolled at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, studying communications, but dropped out in 1986, overwhelmed by $2,000 tuition costs and a lack of direction. A transfer to Arizona State University in 1986 stretched 2 years, majoring in English. But his 2.1 GPA and mounting debt led to another withdrawal. "Dropping out wasn't freedom," he said in a 2019 UNLV commencement address, later earning an honorary doctorate. "It was failure. I knew what I wasn't, but not what I'd become." At 22, in 1989, he stood at a crossroads, the shame of unfinished dreams heavy, the fear of vanishing ever present. He worked odd jobs, delivering pizzas, stocking shelves at a Vegas 7-Eleven, each shift a reminder of a stage he couldn't yet reach. His career began with rejection's sting. In 1990, at 23, he co-hosted The Me and Him Show on KZOK-FM in Seattle with Kent Voss, earning $20,000 a year and renting a one-bedroom apartment near Pike Place Market, where the smell of fish and coffee grounded him. In March 1991, the station fired him for creative differences after an ad-libbed prank call to a local mayor irked advertisers. "It hurt more than I thought it could," he told Howard Stern in 2021, the wound raw. In Palm Springs, he and childhood friend Carson Daly built Jimmy and Carson's Breakfast Bonanza on KCMJ AM, a mix of pop culture riffs and prank calls to diners, peaking at 1,200 listeners. Canceled in 1992 for low ratings, Jimmy sat alone in the studio, the silent microphone mocking his dreams. "Some nights, I thought I'd never be heard again," he said. the memory a bruise. He drove back to Vegas, his 1985 Chevy Citation rattling, playing Springsteen's Born to Run on a loop, clinging to its promise of escape. The early 1990s were a grind. Dawn wake-ups, meager paychecks, and transient gigs. At KRQQ in Tucson, he lived in a $400 a studio, eating ramen and taping his shows on a second-hand recorder to study his delivery. At KZGL in Flagstaff, he delivered sports updates and prank calls, once convincing a local diner owner he'd won a fictional Best Greasy Spoon award, earning a rare laugh. Each job was a threadbare lifeline, his voice a stubborn ember. In 1994, KROQ-FM in Los Angeles hired him as Jimmy the Sports Guy on The Kevin and Bean Show. Earning $18 an hour, he rose at 4 a.m., his self-deprecating commentary, mocking athletes with quips like, "I'd run faster for a free hot dog," resonating with 2 million listeners. From 1994 to 1999, segments like fake Raiders bets and a mock feud with a local weatherman became staples, planting the seeds of a voice that would soon echo beyond radio. He taped Letterman's monologues on VHS, studying pauses and delivery, dreaming of a desk of his own. Television beckoned, but not with ease. In 1996, Jimmy wrote comedic promos for Fox's NFL broadcasts, pouring 10-hour days into 15-second spots seen by 20 million viewers weekly. His wit, a hidden gem. He'd scribble ideas in a spiral notebook at a Santa Monica diner, fueled by black coffee and ambition. In 1997, Win Ben Stein's money on Comedy Central paired his goofy charm with Ben Stein's dry intellect, their chemistry magnetic. As co-host, Jimmy's Barbs, calling a contestant a human trivia landfill, earned a 1999 Daytime Emmy, a vindication of every silent booth. Holding that statue, I carried every doubt I'd ever had, he told Variety in 2000. The Man Show with Adam Carolla followed. Its irreverent sketches, beer-chugging contests, bikini-clad juggies, averaging 1.5 million viewers, peaking at 2.1 million in 2000. A 2001 episode where Jimmy wrestled a bear in a comedy skit drew 2.3 million, his heart pounding as he laughed through fear. Crank Yankers let him voice characters like Elmer Higgins, a cranky prank caller, channeling his voiceless youth, with 3.3 million viewers at its 2002 debut. Success was a double-edged sword. I feared the jokes would run dry, he admitted in a 2016 GQ interview, the pressure to stay sharp a constant haunt. On January 26, 2003, Jimmy Kimmel Live launched on ABC in the post-Super Bowl slot, a $6 million gamble drawing 5.8 million viewers. Each monologue was a battlefield, each laugh a victory over nerves and exhaustion. Behind every 10-minute segment were 12-hour days of writing, with Jimmy and head writer Molly McNerney tearing apart 50 jokes to keep 10. "You see the laughs," he said in a 2022 NPR interview, "not the fear that one bad night could end it all." Early ratings dipped to 1.5 million in 2004, with the New York Times calling it uneven, but Jimmy's grit kept it alive. Jimmy Kimmel Live was a family forged in sweat and laughter. Writers like Danny Rucker worked until 3 a.m., crafting punchlines in a haze of coffee and Red Bull. Producers like Sharon Hoffman carried each broadcast's weight, ensuring every cue landed. Stagehands like Mike, the Grip, Delgado turned chaos into magic, rigging lights at 2 a.m. Rituals bound them. The nervous knock on the green room door. The dog-eared joke pad passed hand to hand. The plastic Yoda figurine touched for luck on the control desk. "This show was my life," Jimmy reflected in a 2023 Hollywood Reporter interview. "It gave me a family I never expected." For 22 years, they aired 3,600 episodes, surviving cancellation threats, writer strikes, and cultural shifts. During the 2007 strike, Jimmy hosted improvised episodes from his Hermosa Beach garage, joined by crew members who became brothers and sisters in the fight to keep the show alive. He spent hours in the empty El Capitan Theater, whispering apologies to his crew, as if words could shield them. In a public statement, he urged compassion. Let's choose kindness over blame. These are people, my family, who've given everything. He organized a Zoom call with the crew, promising to fight for their jobs, his voice cracking as he read messages from viewers pleading for the show's return. The silence was a stark reminder that even legends can lose their stage to the tides of public perception. Jimmy's personal life mirrors his public endurance. In 1988, he married Gina Maddie, his college sweetheart from Arizona State. Their early years filled with laughter over burnt dinners in a $600 a month North Hollywood apartment. Their children, Catherine and Kevin, were his heart's cornerstone, but ambition strained the marriage. Late nights at KROQ left Gina raising their kids alone, reading Goodnight Moon while Jimmy chased airwaves. Their June 2002 divorce left regrets. I wasn't there enough, he confessed on air May 1st, 2017. A father's guilt no spotlight could erase. He co-parents Catherine, now a ceramicist with a studio in Echo Park, and Kevin, a folk musician with a band called the Driftwood Sailors. Through weekly dinners at Musso and Frank, where they share stories over martinis and annual Tahoe vacations, skiing the slopes of Heavenly Mountain. From 2002 to 2009, comedian Sarah Silverman offered healing through shared humor. Their late-night calls, filled with absurd Burt Reynolds impersonations and her post-it notes tucked into his dressing room, "Knock 'em dead, dummy," were lifelines. Their March 2009 breakup, announced via a joint statement, left a quiet ache, her absence backstage at the El Capitan Theater a lingering wound. In 2009, Molly McNerney, a Jimmy Kimmel Live writer since 2003, became his anchor. Their July 13, 2013 marriage in Ojai, California, attended by 300 guests including Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, was a redemption built on trust. Their children, Jane and William, Billy, John, brought joy, but Billy's birth was shadowed by terror. Diagnosed with tetralogy of Fallot, with pulmonary atresia at Cedars-Sinai, Billy underwent open heart surgery at 3 days old at Children's Hospital, Los Angeles, his 2-pound body dwarfed by machines. "Those were the longest hours of my life," Jimmy said on air May 1st, 2017, his voice breaking as he pleaded for Affordable Care Act protections, a monologue viewed 11 million times on YouTube. Further surgeries in December 2017 and May 2018 tested their resolve. With Molly's strength and Jane's questions, "Is Billy coming home?" anchoring them. Billy's 8th birthday in 2025, celebrated with a backyard party and Jane's handmade card, is Jimmy's miracle, each candle a testament to love's endurance. The family's nightly ritual, reading The Serious Goose to Jane and Billy, grounds them, a reminder of what matters. Narcolepsy, diagnosed at 25 in 1992, is a lifelong shadow. Jimmy has drifted off on the 405 freeway, nearly crashing his 1990 Honda Accord, and once while piloting a Cessna 172 over Nevada in 1995, a near-fatal moment that still wakes him in a cold sweat. "It's strange to be known for late nights when your body betrays you," he told People in 2019. He manages it with 200 milliglowers daily modafinil, 20-minute naps between rehearsals, and 5-2 intermittent fasting. But each monologue is defiance, a triumph over a condition that demands surrender. He once fell asleep mid-interview with a guest in 2004, a moment cut from the broadcast but etched in his memory, a reminder of his vulnerability. The August 23, 2011, loss of Uncle Frank Potenza, a former NYPD officer, and Jimmy Kimmel Live, security guard, cut deeper. Frank's sketches, like Uncle Frank's Hollywood Tour, brought goofy warmth to 1.8 million viewers nightly. His death to pancreatic cancer at 77 left an empty chair and a grieving nation. "He was our heartbeat," Jimmy said on air, tears falling as he shared a clip of Frank mispronouncing Hollywood as Hollyweird. Jimmy's 2013 tribute at the Friars Club, raising $25,000 in Frank's name, was a love letter to his uncle's legacy. At 57, Jimmy finds solace in simplicity. His homes? A $275 million Hermosa beach house, an $8.1 million Hollywood Hills mansion, and a $7 million co-purchased South Fork Lodge in Idaho reflect a life built through grit. Retreats to Idaho, fly fishing with Billy and Jane on the Snake River, offer silence and peace. The ripple of water a balm for a restless mind. His car collection, a $150,000 Mercedes AMG S63, a $45,000 VinFast VF8, a 1969 Ford Mustang Mach 1 restored with his father, balances power and nostalgia. His philanthropy is profound. $1 million to Children's Hospital Los Angeles, 2017. $1.3 million raised for Alex's Lemonade. $50,000 matched for St. Joseph Center, 2025. And support for the Los Angeles LGBT Center, Friars Foundation, Jamie Oliver's Food Foundation, Boys and Girls Clubs, Rihanna's Clara Lionel Foundation, Johnson Cancer Center, Max Love Project, and Next for Autism. During the 2023 writer's strike, Strike Force 5 with Fallon, Myers, Colbert, and Oliver raised $450,000 for staff. Its 12 episodes downloaded 3 million times. His 2019 children's book, The Serious Goose, written for Jane and Billy, donated $500,000 to children's hospitals, selling 100,000 copies. Voice acting in Family Guy, Robot Chicken, Garfield, and Road Trip shows his versatility. Jimmy's quieter contributions shine in small acts, mentoring young comedians like Nikki Glazer, who credits him for her 2016 Comedy Central special, and hosting free workshops for aspiring writers at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in 2022. His annual pizza party for the Jimmy Kimmel Live crew, held at his Hermosa Beach home, features homemade pies in a nod to his mother's Friday nights, with 150 staffers laughing under string lights. "The hardest part isn't TV," he told Variety in 2024. "It's knowing when you weren't there." As Jimmy Kimmel Live. As future hangs in balance, his legacy endures in Molly's unwavering strength, Jane's infectious giggles, Billy's quiet courage, and enduring bonds with Catherine and Kevin, sealed over Tahoe vacations and Christmas Eve dinners at Musso and Frank, where they carved the roast together. His story is one of resilience, a testament to a man who turned scars into laughter, proving that even in the shadows, the human spirit shines unbroken. And subscribe it.